Home is where connections are made, memories are formed, and ideas are born. And no one knows home better than NFM. Thanks for tuning in to I Am Home, the podcast that goes deeper than trends and dives into what it means to make your house a home.
Hello and welcome to I Am Home, the Home Life Best Life podcast. I'm Tyler Weiskup. We don't have Becca today, unfortunately, but I am joined by my co-host who's got full court charm and a fast break wit. It's Hilary Woltemath.
Thanks. Hi, Tyler.
Oh, hi, Hilary. And today we're talking to someone who just absolutely crushes on the court. It's Arianna Jackson, a standout guard for the Iowa State Cyclones and the women's basketball team specifically. Hi, Arianna.
Hi.
Hi, I'm so glad that we're having a chance to talk. You are a Des Moines hometown hero, a member of the NFM home team. And today we're going to talk a little bit about, coming from Roosevelt High, stepping onto the court as a freshman in Division I play, and the meaning of home and so much more. I'm really excited to talk with you. But before we do that, let me tell you why we're even doing this podcast. And that's because NFM is more than just your everything home store. We're in the business of improving lifestyles because your home life should be your best life. And you can learn more at nfm.com. Arianna, thanks again for doing this. I'm so excited to talk to you. I wonder if a natural place to start is when Coach told you that you were starting as a freshman, like, were you in the mindset of like, let's go, let's make this thing happen? Or were you like, wait, you mean me? Like, are you sure?
Yeah.
Are you sure? Well, like, where were you at in between those two thought processes?
Yeah, so kind of funny story, like as me and my teammates were like moving in our like boxes to like move in, he had told us, he's like, well, like, you guys are gonna play, like, you guys are up. And we're all looking at each other like, oh boy, like we literally are moving in boxes. We haven't even started practice yet.
Yeah, crazy.
But it was crazy. I think it just shows like how much he believes in us and how much confidence he had in us and trust. And I think just like hearing that from him, like on that day when he hadn't even like seen any type of practice or anything like that, I think that just shows the belief he had in us, and that just made me want to go out and play even more. So, I mean, yeah, it was nervous at first, but I think like once the first few days settled down, it kind of came more of a reality, and you kind of just settle in and find your place. And it helps that we had a big freshman class, so it's not like I was in it alone. I had a lot of my friends with me, so it made it a lot easier.
Oh, that's awesome. Did you feel like legitimately prepared then? Like you were moving in, he told you that, you said you had to settle in and kind of find your place, but like, did you feel once you got to first game day, did you feel prepared?
I did, yeah. I mean, obviously Coach Fenn's offense is a lot of movement. He expects a lot out of his guards and especially his point guards. So just trying to understand that, like I knew there was going to be a lot of weight on my shoulders, but I think once you get that through your mind, like it comes so much easier. So yeah, I think the first few games I was prepared for the most part.
Well, that's awesome. I being thrust in as a freshman, I feel like that's a huge accomplishment. So many kudos. You've been called out, Coach Fennelly. That's how we pronounce his name? Okay, perfect.
Yep.
I'm terrible with names, so I have to double check all the time.
No, you're good.
Coach, so he's praised like your intensity and defense, defense first mindset. Like, what is your approach to guarding in the Big 12? Yeah,
I mean, that's kind of my role on this team is defense. Yeah. So like my thought process between that is like, okay, like everyone on our team can score. So how can we get stops? How can we get more possessions, that kind of thing? And I take a lot of pride in my defense. I think I have from a young age. I find it very fun to get a stop, to get a steal, to block someone's shot. So I just think that like entices my offense a lot and just brings it on even more. And I think like my offense comes easier when I also get a stop on defense. And I think it also fires up some of my teammates to want to play defense even more, like when they can get a stop. So I think just from a young age it started. I just loved going after the ball and being aggressive. And I think that just grew with me now through college.
Is that something that somebody kind of like opened your eyes to, like this defense first mentality? Or is that something you just kind of like naturally kind of like evolved into?
Yeah. I mean, I think growing up with all brothers, it definitely gave me a little bit of an
Mm,
aggressive side. So I
yeah.
think just from a young age, I was always kind of aggressive. I mean, we always fought in the backyard. We always wrestled. We always did that kind of stuff. So just bringing that onto the basketball court, basically.
Yeah, you were bred into that.
Yep. Yeah.
Well, you've played in some pretty huge games. Oklahoma in the Big 12 tournament.
hmm
Curious, what's been like your most memorable moment as a player, whether it's in college or in high school even?
Yeah. I mean, I've always loved going to the Big 12 tournament. That's probably my favorite tournament. I love going every year. Just the atmosphere. It's close to Iowa, so we get a lot of fans there. And just like Kansas City, they do a great job hosting just in general. So just that tournament in general has probably been one of my favorites. But I think last year beating K-State on senior night for Emily Ryan, that was kind of a big one.
Yeah.
Just knowing that she spent all of her time at Iowa State and what she's done for the program and just what she's done for the school, I think just ending her on a good note definitely felt really good.
Yeah, that's got to be real memorable, I'm sure.
Yeah.
That's super special. Are any of your teammates, one of the questions that we always ask, like superstitious? Do you guys have like weird game day rituals?
Um,
Even you?
I wouldn't say, well, I don't do this on game day, but for practice, I wear one of my socks inside out and the other one
Oh,
right side out. I think a
What's the
lot of it's
logic
just
behind
like,
that?
I don't know. It's kind of just, I've always done it in high school. Like, I think one day I just didn't feel like turning my sock inside out, and then I had a really good practice, so I just kept on doing it.
I love that.
Um, so yeah, I've just always done that. And then I would say a ton of my teammates have superstitions. I think a lot of us like listen to music, that kind of thing, get in our zone before the game. I know for Big 12 tournament, we always listen to like the same three songs like before we get to the gym, like on the bus, like audio play it on the speaker, and we listen to that before every game in the Big 12 tournament. We have the same like spots on the airplane, the bus. Coach Penn is very superstitious, so yeah, he like you have to sit
Ah,
in the same
Really?
spot.
Okay.
Like when we huddle up, you have to stand in the same spot. Yeah. So he is very superstitious.
Interesting. I haven't heard about like the
a
coach
coach?
being
No,
superstitious
we need to like
Yeah.
before.
ask that more
Yeah.
specifically, I
I
think.
like that. Like, what do you think is like the weirdest coach superstition that he has?
I think it was my freshman year. We were watching our football team play, and like we just weren't doing very good. And he actually made everyone in the room change their seat
Nah.
to a different seat and see if that would help.
Yeah.
And then we started to come back and we started to win. So I
Oh,
don't know.
interesting.
Maybe
Yeah.
it works. Yeah.
There's something to it.
Yeah, I mean, vibes are important, like having the right vibe.
Right.
And I think everything that you shared is like impacting vibes for sure.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yep.
Mhm. And something about like even in our industry, right?
Mhm.
Like a little feng shui, you gotta like
Yeah.
find the right movement of your
It's got to
home.
feel right.
Yeah.
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 So I think that connects. Okay. I'm with
Mhm.
Coach on this one for sure. Okay. Looking ahead to the new season, I know that, you know, we're just talking before we jumped on the mic about like summer practice. You're in the heat of it right now.
Yeah.
Are there any like particular goals or personal benchmarks that you have for yourself?
Yeah, I mean, as a team, I definitely think winning the Big 12 tournament is a big one for us. We've come close the past 2 years, so just finally getting that. And then personally, I want to make the all Big 12 defensive team, so that's a big one for me that I've been wanting.
Great goals. I love it. Okay, so I'd love to talk a little bit about your home life and growing up.
Mm-hmm.
I know
Yeah.
that your dad and your brother both played at Iowa State.
Yep.
Your mom and dad, I guess, even met at Iowa State. Is that true? Okay, you're shaking
They
your head.
did. Yep.
That's crazy. So did you always like want to follow in their footsteps, or did you ever kind of in your head think, oh, maybe I can take a different path?
Yeah, when I was first getting recruited, I definitely was like, okay, like I know I had family members that went to Iowa State, but like I don't know if that's going to be my path.
Yeah.
I definitely wanted to like make my own path and just know that it was on my timing. But just after hearing like some people talk about it, and actually a girl who was at Iowa State when I was getting recruited, Meredith Burkall, I had a conversation with her, and she also went to Roosevelt. So I had lunch with her, and then I also sat down with my brother and really just like dove into like being a student athlete at Iowa State. And I think from that moment on, I was just like, okay, like I can't really imagine myself anyplace else. So yeah, those are the two conversations that really did it.
What was said during those conversations that like led you to believe that this is it? I'm locked in.
Yeah. They kind of just really told me about the family and the community, and just how like Coach Fenn always sees you as a person first rather than a player. And that's something that I valued. And, you know, Coach Fenn's going to get on you, but he's going to love you just as much. And that's something I respected. I mean, obviously there's going to be moments in basketball when you get yelled at, but as long as he comes back around and kind of loves on you the same way, that's something that I definitely respected. So yeah, and then even my dad played for Coach Dan McCarney, and he called me way before I had these conversations with Meredith and then my brother. And I was just like, oh, like talking to Dan McCarney, like I didn't really understand all the hype. Like I was just like, I'm just talking to this old guy, like, and they were so convinced that after that call that I was going to commit. And then I waited even a few more weeks, and even Coach Fenn's like, I don't know, like, what's taking so long? Like, I thought Dan would have sealed the deal. And
we got the closer in, and it did nothing. Oh,
yeah,
man.
My dad was obviously mad. He's like, this is my coach, like, da-da-da. So, but yeah.
I'm sure you had to pull some strings to, like, get Coach Dan to call, and then you're just like,
who's this boomer?
I just need to talk to my dad, to my bro.
Yeah. So...
That's crazy.
Oh, that's so good. It's so good.
Well, talk to me about like your family growing up. Were you like a big traditions family? Obviously, you had some sports pedigree. Anything that like stands out as like family traditions that you just always gravitated towards?
Not really. We were just very big into sports. Like our weekends mostly consisted of sports, tournaments, that kind of thing. My family actually used to own a restaurant, so before we got really involved into sports, my dad got his degree in actually restaurant management, and we had a barbecue restaurant out in like Urbandale area.
Cool.
It was called When Pigs Fly. But then as soon as we got busy with like sports and everything, obviously it was hard for him to come to all of our games and practices. So they closed that down, and now we just get his cooking for whenever we want, basically personal chef. But yeah, that's growing up young. That's what our weekends and weeks mostly consisted of, was just at the restaurant, hanging out with my brothers. And then when I actually got into sports, that took up most of my time. So
yeah,
well, of course.
I have to ask, are you like really particular about your barbecue now, thanks to your dad?
I am a little picky. Yeah, I compare everything to his cooking. I feel like he's originally from Tampa, so I feel like it's more like a Southern type of barbecue. But yeah, I definitely, any barbecue I eat, I feel like I'm comparing it to his.
Yeah. I would imagine that would like ruin a lot of other barbecue.
Yeah.
You've got like
for sure
a personal chef at home.
Yeah.
Arianna, I'm curious though, what is like if someone didn't know, because I totally do. I'm super knowledgeable and worldly. But like if somebody didn't know what the difference is between like a Southern style barbecue versus like something where like we're close to Iowa and Kansas City and all those kinds of things. Like what is the difference?
I think he uses like a little bit more of like a sweet flavor. I feel like kind of more like Midwest, it's more like tangy or like tangy, that kind of thing. Like a lot more sauce. He doesn't use like a ton, like obviously it has sauce on it, but it's not a ton, like it's not smothered. I feel like in Kansas City, you definitely get a lot of sauce on your barbecue. So yeah, I'd definitely say it's just more like sweeter, like kind of has like, he uses like brown sugar, that kind of thing in his barbecue a lot.
Okay. Well, maybe if we become friends afterwards, we can try some of your dad's barbecue. Okay. Let's talk about where you, basketball as a kid. Was that something that like you started super, super young? Or were you into like any other hobbies or sports or things that we would be surprised to know about?
Yeah, so I actually started track at the age of 4. My parents wanted to get my older two brothers just into a track program, just to do something with their summers. They obviously had their hands full. So they just wanted to get them doing something. So they joined this track program. And then when I was just 4 years old, they were like, yep, we're going to send her out there. And then eventually we stayed around long enough to where my parents became coaches. So they're still coaches now. They're actually at track nationals right now and down in Houston, Texas. Yeah. So that's what I did. My parents never thought I was going to be a basketball player. They always thought I was going to be a track runner. And then I started playing basketball just with some friends with a little Y team. And from there, I just kind of picked it up. My friend's dad was a coach, and I just really loved it. And then I joined an AAU program, All Iowa Attack, at the age of, like, I think 6th grade, so like 12, 13.
Wow.
And then that's when I really started to, like, take it serious and being like, hey, this could be something that I could really do with my future. So.
Were you a like short distance runner, long distance, both?
The 800 was my favorite race. But
Interesting.
I kind of
okay.
did a little bit of everything. So when I was younger, I did the pentathlon, so hurdles, high jump, shot put, long jump, 800, basically any event you could think of. I've tried pole vault. I can't say I'm good at it, but yeah, there's a joke around my family that I high jumped higher than I pole vaulted. So that's when I knew pole vault was not my event.
Wow. Well, I guess if you have to be bad at one thing, that's
Yeah.
you pick the right one.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so fascinating. You're like, I like running. How about I do it with a ball? Like,
Yeah.
why not to make this a little bit harder?
Yeah.
Well, obviously that's great for just well-rounded athleticism, generally speaking, and clearly kind of makes sense for kind of your style of play and like the hustle and what you kind of bring to the game. So, very, very interesting. Good to know where some of this stuff comes from.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you talk to us about your childhood bedroom? One of the things that we're always curious about is like, I think we were talking on the mic before we jumped on, you're a fan of like blues and greens. Like, how did you approach kind of decorating your bedroom if you had the opportunity to do so?
Yeah. When I was like a baby, my mom painted the whole room yellow. I think she had this like bumblebee theme that she went with. Yeah, so that was my room, I think, until about like maybe like 5 or 6. And then I painted my room teal. So that's where the blues and greens. Yeah.
Perfect.
Teal with like gray and white chevron. Like the pillows, the bedding. I had like these little like lantern decorations hanging from my ceiling. So yeah, I had that room for a while. And then when I got to high school, I painted it gray. And that was kind of where I was like, okay, like I need to get out of the teal, like just too old for this. And
So,
you were looking for like a mature zen space. I love that. Love that.
Well, let's talk about where you live now. Are you in a dorm or an apartment or like a house, or like what's the situation?
Yeah, it's an apartment off campus, so it's kind of where like women's basketball, football, a lot of sports live there. It's kind of like the athlete apartment. So yeah.
Nice.
Cool. Okay, so what's your favorite part about the space?
I think my bed. I love sleep, so having something comfy
sleep is
and
important.
But definitely like pillows and blankets are like my favorite thing about bedding. Just getting all like the throw pillows and throw blankets. The decorative part, I guess.
Yeah. Are you a more is more when it comes to like pillows and throws? Like, do you just like mound up all the plush textiles you can?
Yeah, I think so. I think the bigger the bed, the more comfier it looks. So
yeah, I agree.
Your video recently where you're kind of showing off some of the stuff that you just did to your room, like everything looks super cozy, and that's kind of the vibe that I'm getting from you. Is that how would you kind of describe your style? Is this kind of like this comfy, just like we're gonna relax and chill vibe? Yeah. Or would you describe it any other way? Okay.
No, I definitely think comfy and chill, and the vibe. I think that's definitely the way to go. I think once I get done from workouts and basketball and that kind of thing, I just want a place where I can just know that it's like a calm zone and calming place. So I think that's kind of what my room gives.
Yeah, I love the vintage Nike kind of posters that you
Yes.
have
Oh, yeah.
above the bed. Those look great too.
Yeah.
So like before we get to, I have like a quick game if you have like 3 minutes. Okay.
Yeah.
Before we get to that though, one last question. I'm really, really excited to talk to you about your NIL work. You raised over $3,000, I think, for United Sports in Des Moines.
Mhm.
Why was that initiative so close to your heart? Like, where did that come from?
So my freshman year, I actually took a PE class. It was called Unified Sports and PE. But that's where I met a little guy. His name was Isaac. Isaac has Down syndrome. So I saw him just shooting basketball, and I went over and I was just rebounding for him. And we started making that connection just through him shooting baskets. So sophomore year, I took the class again, and that's when we really became close. And then took it the rest of my high school, and he was in it with me. So that's when we became really close. I actually walked him kind of across the stage at graduation. This year, he graduated high school this past year. So that was kind of like a full circle moment. Just seeing him accomplish that was just really amazing. And then I buy him and his aunt and uncle season tickets every year, but he's kind of why I did the program. I think I just got close with like Special Olympics and Best Buddies, and just knowing that, okay, like I'm making money and my money could really make a difference for people like them. I think it just matters a lot to me. It just hits close to home. So
that's super special. I love that
Yeah.
story. Okay. Well, I have a quick game. I'm calling it pass or shoot. Okay. So this is how it's going to work. I have like 8 silly, slightly revealing questions.
Okay.
You can either pass if you don't want to answer, or shoot and give us the goods.
Okay.
And this is important. You have to score at least 4 times to win the game.
Okay.
And that means your answers have to satisfy. I'm going to count on our producers to say whether or not they feel like you scored a bucket. You dropped something, dropped something into the net here.
Okay.
If you don't score 4, you lose the game. If you do win, you get a prize. Okay, this is the prize. I, Tyler Weiskup, will add a video of myself to the podcast episode where I am on the showroom floor. We'll do the chicken dance. And I will add it to the end of our video for the YouTube for the podcast. So
I love it.
Full embarrassment. Like I will go all in, but you have to play the game.
Okay.
Okay. Get a shoot.
Yep.
We're pass or shoot. Okay. Makes sense?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Let's start. What's a song you love that would absolutely ruin your tough on defense reputation if it blasted as like your personal walk-up song during like high profile basketball game? Let's say the Big 12 championship.
Probably Pink Pony Club.
Pink Pony Club?
Yeah.
Okay. Why do you think that's so embarrassing?
I don't think it's embarrassing. I don't know if it's really embarrassing, but I think like defense is like aggressive, that kind of thing. And Pink Pony gives very like girly, like fun, kind of the opposite, basically.
Sends a different message.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sends a different message.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'm looking at the producers to see whether or not they think it's a point. They're I'm not going to give it away just yet, but they're keeping track here. Okay. Second question. Thank you for that one, Arianna. What's a weird ritual or habit that you do before a game that you've like never admitted publicly? That's just like, I can't believe like I'm telling the audience this, but this is something I do.
Let's go pass.
Okay, pass. Okay. All right, fair. Okay.
We can't give away all the secrets.
Of course not. Not. I understand. That's why we have pass or shoot. Okay. Third question. What's the dumbest reason that you've ever like rage quit a group chat, a video game, or like a social media app? Like something that came up, you're just like, I can't handle this. I'm out of there.
I mean, like, if I lose a video game, I get mad. I'll, like, throw the remote and that kind of thing. I've been into Overcooked. I don't know if you guys have played it before.
No.
But essentially this game, it's like you have monsters and you cook. and me and my roommate
Okay.
can't even get past the first level. So so I've thrown my remote multiple times, and I'm just like, I'm done. I haven't played it in about a week, so we'll see if I get back on anytime soon. But I said I was done.
Those dang monsters.
All right. That makes sense. That tracks for an athlete. I'm looking at the producers, getting an indication. Okay. All right. I've got a score in here, and just gonna keep track of that here mentally. Not giving it away yet, Arianna. But we're through 3 questions. I have my 4th question here. Have you ever had a crush on a cartoon character?
Oh, this is like that hear me out social media trend.
Yeah. I think I certainly have. So like, let's just be honest. Okay.
I don't think it's been a cartoon character, but my celebrity crush is Michael B. Jordan.
Okay. All right. That's a good one. One. I'm looking at the producers seeing whether they think it's a score or not. Okay. Keeping track of it. All right. Got a couple of things here. Okay. All right. 5th question. On your team, like, who has like the I don't want to like make you okay, I'll just say it. Like, who's the stinkiest on your team?
Yes.
Okay, all right.
Wise choice.
That's
Yeah.
fair.
That's a wise choice.
That's fair. Okay, question 6. Okay, so like, if you're wondering, you've passed on 2, you've answered 3 now. So like, we're close. We're close.
Okay.
We're on the cusp here. Who's out first on your team if there is like a zombie apocalypse?
Probably Elisa Williams. She's from Texas, but she just like can't. Like, she would not be able to handle it. Like, if we play tag, she will scream the entire way as I'm chasing. Like, she'll either be way too loud, just not care and end up like just being okay dying, or like yeah.
Okay, you just solidly answered that, so I don't even think I need to look at the producers.
Yeah.
Indicate whether or not you answered that correctly. Okay.
Easy.
Let's say practice starts at 6. I don't know what time it actually starts, but let's say it starts at 6. Who on your team like is showing up at like 6:17 with like coffee and a burrito and just acting like bedhead, acting like it's like A-okay?
I don't think anyone on our team would do that. If
the excellence at Iowa State makes it so that like no one would ever
Coach
imagine.
Finn doesn't really. I mean, we had someone my freshman year who like missed practice because she had a meeting, I guess.
Okay.
So like that, if she was still on the team, that's who I would say. But I don't think anyone would do that now. I think we're all pretty good about showing up on time.
Guys, got it. Okay. All right. Well, that's fair. That I don't know if that counts against you, because at this point, like if it doesn't exist, what can you say?
Yeah.
All right. Last question that I have. Who's the teammate most likely to post like a just woke up like this selfie, but it took him like 30 tries?
Now,
Arianna, just so you know, like we're close still on the points.
All right.
You passed on like 3-ish.
Mm-hmm.
And you've come hard at some of these questions, but the producers can be pretty tough. So I don't want to like make this difficult for you, but we're close here at the end.
I would either say Reagan Wilson, one of our sophomores, or I would say Audie, one of those two.
Okay, perfect. Okay, well, you fully answered that question. So I think at this point, I'm checking with the producers. Mm-hmm. They say you shot 5. Oh no.
She dunked on you.
Uh-oh.
So I guess I better start practicing my wing flaps. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Arianna, so much for playing this game. I had a lot of fun getting to know you, hearing your story on and off the court. Like, where would you send people if they want to follow along with Iowa State or with your progress on, your NIL work, any of that kind of stuff?
Yeah. You can either follow my Instagram, Arianna_Jackson 2, or you can follow the Iowa State women's basketball Instagram, Cyclones WBB.
Perfect.
Amazing.
Okay. Thank you so much for this again. I want to thank Hilary, our producers, Ann and Scott, and to all our listeners for tuning in. Don't forget, you can check out our past episodes, send in your own home life questions, and much more at nfm.com/podcast. Until next time, here's to making your home life your best life, one story at a time.
Thanks for joining us today for I Am Home with Tyler Weisskopf, Hilary Waltemath, and Becca Sudbeck. No one knows home quite like NFM. So if you'd like more information on home design at NFM, please check out nfm.com and leave us a review on the podcast platform of your choice.